What's going on, guys? Cap is back for another Thursday pour day. So I'm trying to do this copper alien spawn here, and you can see I tried to do it once. I kind of screwed it up, so I'm gonna try to do another one. SevinStacks wanted one to go with her silver, and her and Titan were having a bidding war, and I don't usually do this, but I told her that I would go ahead and do another one for her for the price that Titan paid. So I really appreciate her. She's been a huge supporter of the channel. So not something I normally do, but I felt like it's something that had to be done. But man, it is really hard. This is a hard piece. So I think I got the sand good. I did have a little bit that fell out right up in there, but I feel like it should work because I can always file that down. Other than that, the rest of it looks pretty good. So I don't know. I want to go upstairs in a minute and I'll show you kind of what I'm working on. But I just wanted to start the video out here, or the live stream out here, because that way it's just going off the cell tower and doesn't start acting stupid when I do come out here. Because I always end up losing people. So hopefully it'll work out today. Herman, what's going on? Silver Spurs, what's happening? Your package went out today. When I get done with this, I'll give you I'll send you a picture with the package, and then it has the tracking number on the bottom. But yeah, I did a 1 pound bar yesterday is what I melted down, and I did it in the gas, or in the electric furnace. And I'm thinking I want to use the gas furnace because I want to make sure this copper is nice and hot and gets all the way in, because it didn't fill out. Now you can see how this tail is. That's what I ended up with. You see how the tail didn't go all the way out. So I cut it off, but I didn't even worry about trying to clean it up. I take it in through both sides. Holy shit. Do y'all yourselves a favor, and when you smoke a cigarette, don't put it in your mouth backwards. What the hell? That could have burned. I realized at the last minute, like, what am I doing? Holy crap. I digress. Anyway. It like barely touched. But I bring it in through here and here. And with copper, I don't know. It's like it's just not really... It was weird. There was a gap like right here. It didn't fill in. And so I don't know if maybe I should try. Herman, what do you think? This is one of those you really got to pound on and roll to make sure it gets in these spots without pulling out. And so, you know, I really went hard on trying to make it perfect, but it also makes it really hard to get out. But anyway, I'm thinking, should I just bring it in here and then do a vent out and then poke it through like I used to do? And do you think it'll go through and fill in all the way if I do it like that? Or should I just take it in both ways like I normally do? I have done this in copper because Titan got the one in copper that I did last time. So you would think it would work the same, but I was also using the 2 auto furnace, the electric furnace, and I had it at 1200. It was melted, but I know in the gas furnace it gets a little bit hotter, and I'm wondering if maybe it just solidified too quick. That could have been an issue. So yeah, just trying to figure it out. Blistering Barnacles, what's happening? Vegas Stacker, what's going on? Bassam, what's up? It was 1 pound of copper. It was those copper bars that you can buy from like Amazon or whatnot. I've had that thing for a long time. Because I wanted it to be nice. I didn't want to have to like try to shine it up too much. Some of the other copper, sometimes, you know, you get like different tints to it, and I wanted it to be copper. But yeah, we're going to try to get this done for 7. Good evening, Blistering Barnacles. It's 2:30 here. What time is it at your place? I know you're across the pond, right? But yeah, I figured if I start out here, maybe I won't lose people when I come back out. Because I have everything. The mold's ready to go, but I got to vent it. Yeah, I almost put out a cigarette backwards in my mouth. What the hell? I can't believe I did that. Like, what made me grab it? It was in my hand. What made me put it backwards in my mouth? I think I forgot that I lit it. And I was just trying to put it in my mouth. Jackass. You guys know I'll definitely call myself out when I do stupid stuff. That's what you get here. Man, I gotta blow my nose. Jeez. Extra powder. Pour it from the side. I don't know about pouring it from the side, because then you always get some kind of weirdness happening. I know I can do it this way because I've done 3 in silver and 1 in copper. This one just, for some reason, didn't quite work out. But I've always done it in the gas furnace, and I think maybe it just needs to be a little hotter. Because it did take a while for that ½ pound, or no, it was a pound. It did take a while for it to melt. I tried to give it enough time, but I don't know. I'm sure the gas furnace gets it a little bit hotter than 1200 degrees. Yeah, that would be a lot of money. That is for sure. I wish I had gold. I do have 5 grams of gold. I was thinking about letting that go as what it is. If anybody's looking to do a gold pour. Then again, I know I could probably get a little bit more for it if I did do a gold pour. But what am I going to do? You know, it's only 5 grams, so it's going to have to be a bar or a round. And then maybe try to stamp something on it. Check Stacker, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. It's 7:30 p.m. here in the UK. Gotcha. Yeah, I did see it fell a little bit, and I almost let it go in that auction, but I didn't put it up, I don't think. Maybe I did. I don't remember. I got that, and I have 2 grams of like plain gold, so it's not like pure. But I do have another like gram that was, I think, pure gold, and that was when I was trying to do it with a torch and kind of screwed it up. So that whole thing was a debacle. My first attempt at gold did not work out so well. I thought if I had 2 torches, maybe that would work, and no, it doesn't. Even with matte gas. Mistakes have been made, that is for sure. Herman knows what I'm talking about. It'd be nice if every time you try to do something, it worked out, but... And I feel bad because I want to get this out to her. So I had that... So this is the extras that I did. I went way over with the little arrowhead. Had a bunch of... That was like the last little bit. This little button was a part of the arrowhead. It went in the arrowhead and the button. Or in the little hole there. I did come out with a nice little var, though. And then I wanted to try to do a var like this. Because this comes with the 2-auto furnace. It's that one right there. And I thought this might be cool if I just stamped capital currency along it. I haven't done anything like that. The one side isn't perfect. You can see how it's a little bit big right there. So I'll probably have to file it down to make it look the same. And like here, how it's like kind of square instead of rounded. So do a little bit of work on it. Definitely had a little bit of a red tint to that one. So now I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I could put this out. I could make the tail just sharp, like a little point, and, you know, have it be like a variant. What do you guys think? Should I just melt it, remelt it? Or try to do this as like a variant tail and just let it go in the next auction? A lot of time goes into these. I got like 2 hours wrapped up in that piece. And that doesn't even include sitting waiting around for this damn furnace to heat up. That was like an extra hour. Bellows Forge, what's going on? Appreciate you guys. We got 8 people here with 8 likes. That's awesome. Thank you. We need to set this gas furnace up. I didn't have time to do all that yet. Excuse me, guys. I hate doing that live. I'm gonna try to get this outside real quick. It's very overcast today, but it's not supposed to rain, but it wasn't supposed to rain last time I was live, and it did. I gotta say, it must be nice to have a job where you only have to be right like 20% of the time. Where is that silver? And that's the copper one. There's probably enough with all this other stuff, but I want to make sure it's going to be heavy enough. Oh, I didn't think this through enough, man. I do want to try to save this one. I was going to probably remelt this anyway. So maybe we'll just throw all the little stuff in here. That sucks, so will this even fit? It'll fit. I have to bend the tail a little bit. Put that in just to make sure there's enough of everything in there. When I go to the next auction, that's what I was thinking. Maybe I should just try to see what I can do. Clean it up. And the silver, I did do a tail variant one time, but that was like extra. It had like an extra point to it. But, you know, for Sevin, I want it to be the same as the silver one she got. And she got the first one. That was, the tail was just like that. So, oh, here it is. I thought I had another sprue. So that's what happened. So when it came in, it didn't fill in right there, which is the first time that that's happened. So if I put that other stuff in with this bar, that should be enough. Faux show. And then I'll still have this little cool thing. I can always pour another one of those bars. The block in the bottom of my furnace cracked a little bit more than it was before. And if I stick it back down in there hot, it sticks to it really bad. So I've been keeping it out when I'm done. I like it to cool down that way, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Actually, I do have a bunch more copper sitting over here I forgot about. It's a little bit different. I'm gonna put these extra little pieces in. I don't want to use the ones that, one is like a copper alloy. And they just look a little bit, see how the color is just a little bit brighter? So I'm going to save that for something else. We should be good. All right, I'm going to go upstairs because I got to put this thing in the oven after I'm done anyway. Turn these lights off. Need to redo this deck. Don't you go outside. This damn cat loves to go outside. Little sneaker. Come on, bud. Put him in the other room. Come on, go lay down. Go lay down. Go on. Come on. Lay down. Good boy. Stay. I'm gonna make sure we get a good connection here. I had a dream last night that I was driving with like my old boss when I used to repair tools, and somebody like pulled out in front of him and did something stupid, and he was trying to chase him down and ended up going way too fast. And I was like, dude, no, you're going too fast. It was like snowing and stuff. The dude like slid out and was about to hit the building and missed it the last minute. And then we went into the building. The whole truck slid sideways on my side and bam, hit the wall, and I woke up. It's like, whew. That was kind of a crazy dream. I hadn't had a dream like that in a while. Actually, I don't even know if we hit the wall. I was like just about to hit the wall on my side, going way too fast, sliding in the snow. Anybody else have some weird dreams recently? I'm just gonna sit here and ramble as I do this, you know. You never know what you're gonna get when you come hang out over here. What will he talk about today? So yeah, I had a little bit right here that kind of popped out, but I was able to doctor it back in there. I might end up with a little bit of flashing, but that's like on the bottom. You don't really see that too much, and I can clean that up. So I feel like should be good on that. Try to do a decent amount of vents. That's why I pressed this side down a little bit. Or this side, I pressed it down all the way around it. I even took a little tool and just kind of tried to press down just enough so where I'd get a good bite on this side. That's always better anyway. But it also gives me a way to be able to come in here and vent without getting like into the piece too much. I'm gonna do it on both sides. Gotta make sure it vents good. It being so close to the edge right here kind of helps it vent a little bit too. Can't see where that is. Where the hell does it stop? I don't want to mess that up. I got right into from Tool stuck in my head right now. Anybody else a Tool fan? Probably my favorite band, I'd have to say. I do love some Breaking Benjamin and Deftones too. Anybody else? Leave a comment. What is your favorite band? Korn used to be one of my favorite bands too. I don't listen to them like I used to. Anybody know that song? Doing like a beatbox sounding like he's from hell. I was just going to take this vent out and poke a hole through and see if that worked. That way it would go down and get all the way around. I'm just nervous about that because every time I've done it, I've always brought it in through both holes. and then I just clean the tail up. It's definitely sunk down a little bit here. That's why I like to do both sides in case it sinks down. Because I really had to press on it hard, man. If you want to get all this to stay, and it still didn't, you really gotta do some rolling work on it. I hammered it before that. Here. Make sure this bad boy works. Anybody doing anything fun this weekend? You're gonna have to doctor that. This is where the surgery comes into play. Right into I wish you could play music. Man, I used to do it on the out part. See where it stuck out? But there's like these little kind of half circle things there. So I'm trying to do it in that point, but when you do it in the point, sometimes it moves it. So it's kind of like catch-22. No matter what I do. I feel like I'm leaving marks. And I always like to press it because I can always go back and clean up a little bit. If I go too far and sand gets into it, then you're kind of taken away a little bit, which we don't want to do. This one I'm going to take out here. I could go down here and do a vent hole too, but I want to make sure it gets through the whole thing. Man, I don't know what to do here. I feel like I want to just stick with what I know works. And I am kind of tempted to just take it through the back Herman, but I don't know. I like the heaviness of the top, the sprue being down on it and pushing everything in. And I'm just going to make sure it's nice and hot. I like this one that's bent for this. And I was trying to be really easy with it too and not have it go too far down into the piece. So I might go a little bit further today. I wish I had a smaller one of those. I think I do somewhere. That's the one I was using. You guys see what I'm doing here? Yesterday I used that big one. Probably should have used this from the get-go. So when I get down in there, I want this to flow nice. That's definitely further than I did yesterday. I get this done. I told her it's going to be a couple days, and I'm already an extra day on this thing. So hopefully this thing works out. We're just going to take it through here. And I can come back and clean it. Now there's a lot of cleanup on this piece. Cleanup always takes a couple hours. I'm going to get in there really good. too crazy, but that's a lot better of a flow than I had yesterday. So I think this might be the way to go. Gadita, your package went out today. I was waiting to hear back from you on the email, but sent you email today. Well, I hope I didn't do it in the wrong spot. So there's the square that was on it that says capital currency. In between the bottom of the bag that's black and that, I took a black, one of those little small markers. It's not real big because I didn't want it to like bleed out. And then signed capital currency. And then I signed cap, and then I did the little peace sign thing. So hopefully you like it. Doug Harding, what's up? Whammy! I don't know why I just went so hard on that whammy. Is it LL or is it Ellie Ellie? Because I was calling you Ellie Ellie before. But I almost feel like maybe it's just LL. Let me know, please. I hate getting people's names wrong. You guys know, I talk about it all the time, I'm dyslexic, so reading is never a strong suit of mine anyway. Now we need the round one. I feel like that should be good. Oh, sorry. I didn't really push anything either. Looks like everything got pulled out nice. That's a pretty good spot. And then what I do on the other side is I do the same thing. Kind of make a little vent on this side too, just to make sure it's getting in there. I don't go down into the piece or anything, but I go right up to it. And it helped out that I pushed this down a little bit. Freaking spam. Are you guys back? Rhonda, what's going on? Big hugs and love to you as well. Somebody type in like 5x5 if we're still good. I hope you're feeling better, Rhonda. Cool. Appreciate you guys. I think we're gonna roll like that and just let her eat. Know what the rednecks say? Let her eat. just to make sure everything's breathing okay all the way up. And then when I used to do a lot of the big vents, I would always poke a hole through here, through the actual vent part, and that helped kind of get any gases out too. Alright, so this is what we're looking like. What do you guys think? Let it go. This is how I've always done it before, and it worked out good. So we're gonna give it another attempt. If not, then I'm gonna have to try again. You know what they say? If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again. Try again. Ooh. Sorry, I know I hurt somebody's ears. My bad. Pop that in the oven at 200 degrees. Usually I let that sit in there for about 20 minutes. It's not too cold out today. I had a t-shirt on earlier. I was a little chilly, but wasn't too bad. Thanks, Bellows. Need strong prayers for Terry's wood burning, my son. This is Rhonda speaking. Just got off the phone with him, and he said they took 2 samples from his throat to test for the angry word. Oh. Dang. I won't know till the 18th. Well, I would definitely say a prayer. And if everybody else would too, that'd be nice. I'm not really great at trying to do it out loud. It'll sound stupid, but everybody pray for him real quick, and I'm gonna do the same. All right. Done. And I'll do it again tonight too. I always throw Rhonda in there anyway, so we'll just do 2 names tonight. I really do hope everything works out. Oh, here's 46 ounces. Check that out. Somebody sent this as a gift, but I can't tell you who. All right, so that is in there. We are looking at about, well, a little after 3 o'clock. So by 3:20, we should be ready to pour. Rhonda, you'll think this is funny. I was outside when I first started the stream because I wanted to start it in the shed. That way, if I did come inside, it wouldn't act stupid when I go back out, which it still might do, but just wanted to see if that would help. But I lit a cigarette and forgot and went to put it in my mouth to light it, and it was lit, and I put it in cherry side first. As soon as I touched it, I felt it and knew that it was not, it didn't feel right, and I didn't burn myself, luckily. But man, that was pretty stupid. That was my dumb thing for the day. I do want to say thank you to everybody that showed up last Friday. I do appreciate you guys. I'm going to try to do something within the next couple weeks. Definitely before the end of the month. But I got to see what I can get done. I might try to order some silver. I don't know. It's so expensive. I still have things to melt, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. I would like to at least get a kilo. Can't really afford to buy much more than that. And if I do that, I'll be using my credit card anyway. So I'm kind of like, do I really want to use my credit card? Kind of on the fence of ordering some more and just figuring something out full time. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out by next week. But let's go outside and get this thing going. I guess we really don't need to get it going yet, but copper does take a little bit longer than silver. Actually, I got to get my, yeah, you want to look at the woods? I'll look at my mess out there. It's a little bit chilly. There's my lighter. I'm going to go street, guys. Actually, last time I took you up on the thing. That's what I should do again. Bear with me, guys. I need a new tripod. This thing sucks. It takes like twice as long to do anything. All right, I can put you up here. Boom. Get a little zoomy. There we go. So it might be too high. I can't see what you guys are gonna. Can't see the comments very well. Yeah, I'm gonna get a new tripod here soon. All right. In case anybody's wondering, if you just came in, this is what I'm pouring. I'm making a copy of this. This is plastic. It's a 3D print. I'm going to be making a copy of this in copper. And this was my last attempt. The tail didn't fill out all the way, so we're going to try it again today. It looks great other than that. I mean, obviously, that still needs to be cleaned up. That was where the sprue came in. But this should be a little bit longer. You can see it's didn't really work out there. So we're going to do the second attempt at this one. Yeah, we might have to do that, Rhonda. I know when you first go live, you can add somebody. And I know. I need to figure out the OBS. I need to, if I'm not going to do that, then figure out the StreamYards. It's just trying to get stuff done and having enough time to get everything done. It's hard. I'm trying to post some videos too. I posted a couple shorts. So the things that I let go of, because a lot of my stack is kind of gone now. So I made some short videos and I'm going to put music in it, just showing the pieces that went out. That way I have a little bit more content, because once it's gone, I can't do anything with it. And I went through a lot of my stack trying to keep this thing going. So it's like, man, let me make a last video with some of these things. So if you feel inclined, stop by and leave a comment. I do appreciate the comments. It helps with the algorithm. So if you do watch, just leave some kind of comment for me. I would appreciate it. That's the best way to show support. They're making 3D meat. Yeah, don't eat that. I was watching a video. Sean Ryan was interviewing a guy that's a doctor, and he was talking about the meats, and really we shouldn't be eating anything other than grass-fed, which I always knew that anyway. But yeah, I've been learning a lot about food and what to eat and what you shouldn't eat. And there's a lot of things. It's like they're trying to poison us, really, because they want to, the amount of money they make trying to fix us. It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Well, Rhonda, I know you haven't been feeling good. I didn't want to bug you. And I've been so busy trying to get stuff done. So can you have StreamYards on your phone and your computer? You should be able to do that, right? Do I have to go live from the phone or the computer? Or do both of them pop up? If you get on the computer, it's there. If you get on the phone, it's there. Curious about that. Yeah, I think I might have seen something about 3D printed meat. I mean, half the stuff, like if you eat fast food, that's all a bunch of just stuff thrown in there. But that dude, the doctor, he came out with this jerky where it's vinegar, salt, maybe pepper, but that's it. It's just meat. There's no other additive stuff. You know that the McDonald's bun has 50 ingredients? 50 ingredients. That's why they don't go bad. And I've tried this experiment where I took a burger with cheese, but no condiments, because the condiments will go bad. Like no pickles, no nothing, just a burger, cheese, and a bun, and just leave it sit somewhere. It will not mold. That's definitely not something we should be eating. I think I've eaten McDonald's in the past 5 years, maybe like 4 or 5 times. But how does the bun have 50 ingredients? That's crazy. But that's what's poisoning us. They're trying to, well, I don't want to say it. Sorry. This freaking algorithm's going to be like, oh, he's talking shit. And we get shut down. But, they try to preserve everything so it doesn't go bad. And doing that with all the oils and everything else, like, so bad for you. In my opinion. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Raka Mass, did I say that right? We're living in some crazy times right now, and it's either going to be for the better or for the worse. I'm still kind of on the fence. Things are either going to get better or there's no way they're going to let it get better and they're going to keep it worse, in my opinion. And you know, opinion is like a butthole. Everybody's got one, you know. Well, I guess it's about time to fire this thing up. Let me go get this board real quick. Still a little wet. It rained its butt off yesterday. The back of the shed, I have a limb fell on it, and it messed up the gutter, and so it kind of like leaks out the middle now. And there's a crack that goes down where the wood meets, and I don't want it to rot out, so I keep putting this big old bucket there to catch the water so it doesn't end up ruining the wood. I gotta get that thing fixed. Just need a new gutter, 16 foot long, and it's 2 pieces that are 8 foot, and it has a little adapter thing in the middle. I need just one long piece. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, you can see the one spot, there's a little bit that got stuck right there. It's still in it. See that sand? And I just didn't worry about it. I'm just gonna have to try to get up in there with a file. I think I got a file that'll get up in there. And to be honest, you might not even really be able to tell anyway. It could just look like the piece. We'll see. Starting to run low on gas. Put a piece of cardboard down in there. I hope it didn't get too hot that fast. Scared me. Scraped my hand on it. And it's a little hot. Doesn't take long. Letting it sit on that. It has holes in it. I've been letting it sit in that once I'm done with it, because if I put it back in there, because the block is all broke in like 4 different places, it was so hard for me to get it out last time. And I like to put it back in there because it's better if you let it cool down slowly, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I think I'm gonna be getting a new furnace soon. That block in there, once I put the stuff all around the edges, the refractory cement, it kind of cemented it in there. Like I can't really get the block out and put a new one in. I could probably get it out because it's broke, but the new one I don't think will slide in, so kind of stuck. I definitely need to take the propane tanks to the hardware store and fill them up. On the list for tomorrow of things to do. I missed any comments. Thank you, Bellows. He said that was a fun auction. Appreciate you saying that. Got some prayers for Rhonda. That's awesome, guys. So, it's Ellie? I didn't see if you said anything. Because I thought I heard somebody call you LL one time, and I was like, man, have I been wrong this whole time? Ellie? LL? Uh-oh. I'm confused still. L like the magazine. Okay, cool. I like it. I think when this is ready, I'm going to turn you guys down and zoom in a little bit so I can get a good video for a pour. I want to do a short of a pour. Those always do great. When I show the pours, those videos don't usually do very well. So if anybody wants to go through and, you know, smash the like button, leave a comment, give me a view, I would appreciate that. Of course, it's always the ones that have sold already. I like to get to a point where I do it before the auction. We'll get there. I'm always playing catch up. Glad I know that now. Kind of feel dumb, but you know, at least we learned, right? Yeah, this tank doesn't like to get above, it's not even 3.5. The other one goes up like to 4, a little bit over 4. Invest in some new tanks. I have like 4 of them, but seems like 2 of them don't work very good now. That bad boy opened up all the way, but staying right around 3. I really hope this one works, man, because the one I did yesterday, there was a lot of burnt sand. And this one's going to do the same thing. So I need to get some sand here soon. Clay, I guess I should say. Duff clay. Yeah, well, it does have something on it already, but I think the tank... Uh-oh, hold on. I think the tank might have air in it or something. I'm going to try try to make sure that they purge it really good. There's a screw on the side, and you gotta like back out the screw a little bit, so when it pours in and then it starts spitting it out, and then you close it. And I don't think they do that very often, so I'm wondering if I got a couple that, you know, just weren't done properly. We'll see. But yeah, it does have a little regulator thing on it. That's on the yellow, or on the orange tube. It comes out of the furnace, or out of the gas tank, and that's what you screw it in. Thinking about getting one of those things on TikTok where you can it's an adapter that you hook up to a big propane tank, and then you can fill up all your little propane tanks. It's only like $15 too, I think. I gotta get me one of those. I got tons of those, you know, for camping. I've been using one, instead of using 2 matte gases, I've been using 1 propane and 1 matte gas. It takes a little bit longer, but it gets stuff done, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper. But I always save them. I never throw them away. So I probably have like 10 or 15 of them laying around that are empty. And then the matte gas ones, I could probably fill those up with propane when I'm done with them too. Just have to draw a P on it or something. Tank, I don't think it matters what kind of gas is in it. But it sucks having to throw those away, and then it ended up in like a landfill. I don't know if they recycle them or not, but I would imagine they would, but I don't know. Pretty molten. Another couple of minutes, we should be ready to pour. Just want to make sure it's good, nice and hot. I don't want it to solidify before it gets all the way down in there. Heat those up so it doesn't stick. If it has moisture in it, sometimes they'll stick to whatever it is you're grabbing. Weeks ago, I looked down in there, and I have a visor on, but you know, my chin kind of hangs out a little bit, and I got a little too far over it, and I could smell whiskers burned. I was like, uh-oh, I wonder how bad this is gonna look. You couldn't really tell though. It's never good when you're doing this sort of thing and you smell burnt hair. I've had a goatee for ever, since I was probably 19. So I've never had my face out. Not fully. That would be really weird, looking at myself in the mirror. Although I've lost some weight, so I don't have the double chin like I used to. Go grab this. I'll be right back. We're about to pour. ends up being a little bit of moisture right there, so I'm just going to try to heat it up good, a little bit better than I normally do. You would think the oven would have taken that out, but hopefully this thing works out. Try to get a little close up of the pour. Man, that was like at 2. Didn't stay hot. And I got too much. Keep that going for a minute. See, it did get moisture still. Just does not like this way. Damn. It's a lot of burnt sand too. That sucks. Thing in there. I'm not even worried about cleaning that out right now. Well, that didn't really go as planned. I guess maybe for the copper, I do got to take it. Maybe I just got lucky that one time. Maybe I do need to take it in. Or run it through with the hole, like I was saying. Damn. Well, that's what happens sometimes, unfortunately. A lot of burnt sand again. That sucks. This is a hard one to do in silver, so it's just one of those pieces. It's getting hot. So much burnt sand. I might just try to do another one and maybe keep that one too. Let them both go in the auction. I don't know. Oh, my paper towel fell. Whole freaking roll of paper towels just went flying. It's one of those days. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? Oh yeah. I didn't heat that up as long as I would have liked. And it only has that one spot. This is a good quench. Let's sit there for now. Well, guys, look at that. You don't see that every day. I didn't think there was that much actually in there. Should I keep that? Maybe do something with it? I could do like stamp something there and then do something else over here. I don't know. I'm usually not into the weird stuff that doesn't turn out right. But at least we got another one of these long bars. This one actually looks better than the other one except for that one little spot. But I was thinking, clean it up and then stamp capital currency across it. Haven't done that yet. Better too much than not enough yet, that's for sure. But it looks exactly like the other one did. Probably could have saved a little bit of this dirt. Yeah, this tail actually looks worse than the other one. Damn, man. She got other stuff and I feel bad. That's why I don't usually do this, because that's when this kind of thing happens. trying to clean it up a little bit. Hold on, I'll show you in a second. Trying to get it to where you can see everything and there's no burnt sand. I mean, somebody that doesn't have the original, I could make it like sharp at the end and just do it like where it's like a sharp one, but even that just didn't turn out perfect. It's so weird it's doing that. I don't know what I'm doing different. Maybe I should just take the sprue in here, do a vent line out and poke it through and see what happens that way. Because even that, like, it just doesn't look good at the end. I'll definitely be remelting this one. The other one looks good, except for the tip is just different. That was the first attempt, and that was the second attempt. So I don't know why this one looked a little bit smaller. Anyway, that's what happens. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. Well, at least she can stop by and see I'm trying. Trying to save it on shipping so I could just put it out with the other stuff, but man, this is ridiculous. Get out of there. If it was silver, I'd be trying to save all that, but I ain't that worried about it. I mean, that's the burnt sand that's in there, and about that much is probably still in the water too. So a lot of sand down on this piece, especially doing that twice. It's always what happens when you try to do something special on the side, away from the auction. I got to count on it just not working out once or twice and taking longer. I said it would be a few days, but really not trying to have it be a week. Man. Oh well, at least I'm trying, right? She can watch this and see that I tried. Breaker bar fuse. It's like a Geiger's Alien. Was the one little bar thing that I have. And I think this was like I call it the Alien Spawn. I think this is like when they first come out. That's what they look like. I haven't seen that movie in so long, I really don't remember. This was something that Buffalo Boy imprinted and then sold it to me with a few other pieces. And I love his work. I guess it's a picture that he found somewhere, and then he'll put it into the computer and like digitize it somehow, and then like bring up certain pieces. Like it'll be a picture that looks flat, and then he'll take a stylus and he'll just kind of like pop up certain pieces to raise it up. And that's what he ended up with. I broke it. I had to glue it back together. It broke here and here. I glued it back together, and that seems to be working. But You guys know I'm such a perfectionist. Like even right here, like that not being perfect kind of bothers me a little bit. But this looking like that is definitely not good. I mean, that's what it's supposed to look like. That's not good at all. I mean, at least I know I have the right amount. Oh, this was kind of almost too much. We almost had it overflow. But I did end up getting, not a total loss, at least I got a cool little bar. Although when it comes to copper, like I don't really like to do bars and things like that. Like I did a couple 10-ounce bars and I regretted it because if I had to did like a sand cast, you know, like selling a bar, like you don't get a whole lot. And when I can do a sand cast, it'll go for a little bit more. It makes it kind of more worth it. But it also takes a lot more time too. So I guess it all equals out. But the problem is I just don't have that much copper. I've been collecting a bunch of cans, aluminum cans, and I think what I'm going to do is take those up to the recycling center and see if they have any copper I can buy. But this is kind of cool. I'm almost tempted to do something like this again, where I can pour like a little spot in, try to get it in the middle. Maybe use the cup even. Well, I can't do that because it's copper. And it also still has to be hot so that it mixes together. If you put something in there and then put more copper in, if I was to pour like that little spot and then put more copper in, when I pour it over it, I don't think it would stick to it. It would have just like kind of made, it would have went all around it and then that piece would have popped out probably. So you got to do it when they're both hot. So maybe I could do something with like the electric furnace, have a little bit in there, dump it in, and then have the gas furnace and dump the rest, like kind of do one, then the other, like right away while it's still hot. So it kind of melts together because that ain't going nowhere. That's definitely not going to come out, even if I stamp it. I do like this though. It's different. And if I can get kind of funky with some stamping, it might be cool. I got a bunch of different types of stamps. You know, one thing that I regret is for Valentine's Day, and I showed this last year for Valentine's Day, I made some 2-ounce hearts and I stamped I heart you, like just with like you, I heart, like a heart emblem, and then you. And then I put my sign on one side and her sign on the other side. And I was gonna offer those up this year, but all of a sudden it was Valentine's Day. And that's something I gotta do like beforehand and give people the opportunity. That way they could get it as a gift to give to somebody. But yeah, next year I'm gonna try to do something like that. So if anybody's into that sort of thing. But anyway, I mean, it is kind of cool that we learned something today. If I put something in there, and as long as it's still hot, I can pour more right over top of it and it'll kind of glue itself together. I just wish that had come all the way over. That's the only thing that would have made it better. But I don't know, I still think that looks cool. Like, could this be maybe a sun or a moon? I don't know. Anyway, if you're just joining, I attempted to do this and didn't quite work out like the other ones have. That was the one I tried yesterday, same thing. This is what it is supposed to look like. That tail is a lot bigger than what I've been getting out of this. So we're gonna have to attempt to do a different version or a different way. Either bring it in from the back instead of from the top, like on the side, poke a hole through. The problem is with that, you got to make a sprue hole on one side, and you lose so much silver trying to poke that through, or not silver, you lose a lot of sand trying to poke that through. You end up with a lot more waste. Sand is expensive and I'm running low, so I guess I better just order another 4.5 pounds. That way I have it. Yeah, we were always learning here. I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years. Probably closer to 4 years now. And I still don't know everything. I still have days where it's like, man, really? Come on. I'm usually pretty good though, for the most part, at least with silver. For the most part, I don't screw a whole lot up. Now, the poker chips, they were kind of thin, and I'm like one of those people that likes everything to be perfectly smooth. So if it had any kind of like little pits here and there, I tried not to put those out as numbers. The prototype was a little bit more like that, but once I got into the numbers, and I did 11 of those, I think. So to get 11 of them, well, it's 12 total because there's a prototype. So 12, I probably poured 16 of those to get 12. Maybe 17. There's probably 5 that I ended up remelting. And every time you do that, that's saying that you're just throwing away for nothing. So I do hate to do it, but it is what it is. I appreciate that, El. I do appreciate you. Yeah, for me, when I first started, I started the channel in 2020, and then 2021 is when I got the furnace. And I did a couple things here and there, like the Statue of Liberties that I put out in that first auction. A couple rounds and bars. I did some rounds and bars first, and then did a few things in copper, and then I went to silver. And once I did silver, it was like I was hooked after that. I really didn't pour copper for a while. I did a copper Statue of Liberty. I did a couple other copper pieces, but for the most part, it's just been all silver. But I've poured probably, it's got to be getting close to 400 ounces. Maybe 350 ounces. I bought 100 ounces. I bought 50 ounces twice. I bought like 3 kilos. Man, I think I'm starting to feel raindrops. I really hate the weather, man. Dude is never right. Dude or chick, whatever it is. He or she, or they, them, who knows what the hell it is these days. But they're not good. If anybody wants to know what my pronouns are, it's thee and shit. I saw somebody say that a couple years ago. I thought it was funny. I stole it. Not that I think I'm the shit, but you know, I do try. I do strive to be the shit. But sometimes I just end up with shit, so, you know, it's touch and go sometimes. It's the only thing about doing things live, too. You know, you get the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Last time I screwed up, it was the mold. I had to redo the sand before I even tried to pour it. And actually, I tried to do a copper, the crab that I did. Sevin picked that one up, too. It's like a 3-ounce crab. And I wanted to do it in copper. And, man, the sand pulled out probably 40% all the way around it. Sand casting is not easy. I will say that. Anyway, so what I was saying was, like that first year, you know, once or twice a month I would pour something. And then I wasn't on YouTube for like 2 years. I was still pouring. So when I came back is when I had a bunch of pours. I had probably 50 pours, and then started letting go of them. The only pours that I kept are my first two. My first two in silver and my first two in copper. That's the only things I've kept. And I'm exclusive to YouTube too. Like, here is the only place you can get my pours. I post them in other places, but I never sell over there. I try to let everybody know from those other platforms to come over to YouTube, but it doesn't really seem like anybody ever does. At least they haven't mentioned it. I thought about doing a live on TikTok though. Is anybody else on TikTok? I did a live on TikTok once where I was DJing. I did like a house set, I think. Or no, it was drum and bass. But nobody really hung out because they're used to seeing coins from me. So a lot of the coin guys saw somebody DJ and they're like, what the hell is this? You know, a lot of people came through, but they would just leave right away. I think by the time I got done that set, there was like 2 people there, which I do appreciate. But that's the last time I tried to do that. I did another live one there where I was just sitting there kind of talking, showing my pours and things like that. And that was fun. And then when I got kicked off of YouTube that one time for showing the banner, which was a revolver, they kicked me off and told me I couldn't go live for 3 days. So when that was over, I immediately went to Instagram and went live there. But that's the only times I've went live on other channels or other platforms. I'm also on Favorited, but that's still kind of new. And there's a lot of weirdos over there, I'll be honest. It's kind of a totally different place to hang out. Clapper, I started a Clapper. Never been live there, but I post some stuff here and there. And then Lemonade is another one that I just started to post on. I don't have a whole lot of followers over there though. On either one of those platforms. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people that are on YouTube don't really do a whole lot on TikTok. There's a few people. I know, like Jack Silver, he's over there. He goes live over there all the time. He's on here, but they always do more over there. And I'm kind of the opposite. It's kind of cool because there's like a lot of gifts and things that you can do. And you'll see like all kinds of like weird stuff pop up on the screen. And people sending gifts. I've never got a gift like that, but it's always fun to be in the stream and see when people get gifts like that. It's always fun. I wish I had the money to do things like that for people. I'll get there at some point. I used to do that stuff all the time when I had the money, but times are tight. Times are tight for a lot of people right now. Bellows, you go and Whatnot. I did download Whatnot, and I started to kind of get some followers and follow other people, but it can't be over 50. I don't think I haven't been on there in a while though. It's been like 2 weeks since I've even been on there. But like I said, I don't really have the money to pick up anything from anybody, so I feel like that's kind of a place where if you don't got money to spend, it's not gonna be much fun hanging out. TikTok is fun though. There's a lot of awesome people over there. A lot of sobriety type of stuff. A lot of just all kinds of different things. Doctors will get on there and talk about how bad food is and what you should do to be more healthy. Those are fun to get into and learn a little something. There's people on there pouring all the time. If I do that though, it'll be different days. It won't be a Thursday. Thursday is going to be just with you guys. I might start doing some Tuesdays a little bit here and there. and maybe just pop on here and there just to see if anybody shows up and hangs out. I'm going to do a coin roll hunt soon. I got some quarters I want to go through, and I got a bunch of pennies I want to go through. So next time you see me live, I might be doing a coin roll hunt if anybody's into that. I'm a novice when it comes to that, but I know a little bit. I got a book that tells me what I should be looking for. Strike at Rich. It's a pretty decent book. I have that book, Making the Grade. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to Fish, but he's been putting out Guess the Grade videos. And this was the third one, and he's doing the Balls of Fury. That's always fun to hang out when that's going on. But I've never been into it before. I've always just watched it when it happened. And this time I'm into it, but I think out of 20 people, I'm like 22. So I'm waiting for him to post a new video so I can see if I got back into the 20. I keep pulling out the Making the Grade book, and it doesn't help. The last time, I had grades in my head that I was gonna do, and I looked in the book, and I should have stuck with the original grades because I would have did way better, and I probably would have been in the top 20. Always go with your gut. I'm always second guessing myself. All right, Ellie. I appreciate you hanging out. Or LL. I'm sorry, I did it again. I appreciate you hanging out. Still got 4 people here. I got 16 likes. I appreciate you guys hitting the like button. When I end this, if you don't mind, if you see it, come back and leave a comment. It helps them push me out in the algorithm a little bit. By the way, Rhonda, are you still here? I think the next time I do an auction, I'm probably not going to go. I'm going to do it vertical. Because whenever I go horizontal, they don't push it as much. So I'm thinking the next one, I might have to try and do a vertical. Granted, I don't want a bunch of people coming through that I don't know. But people that do know me, that I know, might pop through. Because a lot of people get on and just scroll. I think when I do the coin roll hunt, I'll probably do it that way too. Yeah, Bellows, well, it's kind of too late now. But he'll probably have other ways to get in. I think he does it for like a few months before he does the actual Balls of Fury show. But this was the third video he did of Making the Grade. And I got into all 3 of them, but I haven't seen how good I did in the last one. But we'll see. Maybe I'll slide in there. I sent him a couple things too. He actually overpaid. He sent me a little bit extra for shipping. So I sent him a couple extra things so he could put it into the Red Balls of Fury gifts. So I added a few things. I think I gave him a silver quarter, a 1953 BU half dollar. I think I threw in a copper round too. I threw in a couple copper rounds because I wasn't sure about the shipping. Last time the shipping was like crazy, and I had to pay like an extra 60 bucks almost last time. So I took the prices up because they take the price up for Christmas and everything. But when I went in and talked to him before the auction, I was like, did the prices come down? And she didn't really give me a straight answer. But it did seem like they came down a little bit. But I did throw in a copper bar for everybody. So, you know, it should have equaled out. I mean, really, I probably should be doing $8 for shipping anyway because, you know, you got to buy the envelopes, the tape. Like, there's probably $2 or $3 just in shipping anyway. So it does help out. But hopefully nobody's upset because some of them were like $6 and shipping was $8. So I know most people don't mind helping out when it comes to things like that, but it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, it was like I charged $6 last time, and there was some people's were even $12 because things were heavy. It seemed like the packages this time, nobody really had any kind of heavy packages. So it did keep it in between the $6 and $7 for most people. But yeah, hopefully everybody likes what they got. Like I said, I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to be working full time here soon, so I'm not going to have as much time to do pours. So the auctions will be a little further in between probably. But I might try to knock another one out by the end of the month, and after that, it might be more like a quarterly thing. Just whenever I can get stuff done on the weekends, and once spring hits and it stays warmer, it's a little bit warmer and it gets lighter. And every day we gain 2 minutes, or is it a minute, something like that. So a month from now, I'll be getting another hour, hopefully, at least a half an hour. What you looking at, Gadita? She's like, oh, what are we doing? You're just running your mouth. There's nothing to see. But yeah, hopefully you liked how I signed that thing. I think it looks good. It's not like crazy big or anything. There's a couple things on it. I almost wanted to try to test it with the pen thing I was using. It's like a marker, but it's real thin. I didn't want to try to do a sharp because I didn't want it to like bleed and look stupid. Although it might not have done that, I'm not sure. But I didn't have anything that was the same material that I could have practiced on first. So I was kind of nervous to use certain things. But I did take a piece of cardboard and stick in between underneath of it just in case, so it didn't bleed through at least. But yeah, I sent it out today. Bellows, yours went out Monday. Most everybody went out Monday. It's a lot, man. When I have an auction, I take pictures of everything, front and back of the pour and the COA, so that I can post it on Instagram. So far behind the posts though, man, I've got probably 100 that I gotta upload to Instagram. But then I also did videos of all the coins, like a little short video, like around a minute, so that I can just show it. So the shorts will be me showing something, but I'm not talking. I also make videos of the pours, and with the pours I talk, and I try to thank the people that bought it, and show the pour and what it is and everything. Tell people, if you're seeing this on other platforms, come over to YouTube. This is where you can get my pours if you're interested, kind of thing. So I posted on all the platforms. Oh, I'm on X too. I don't know if anybody's on X. I have 16 followers on X, and I've been on there for like a year. It's hard over there to get people to follow you. It's hard to get likes too. I got 1 like on everything I've posted with my pours, and it's me. I'm the one liking my stuff. But yeah, IG, I got to get on there and post, try to catch up on everything. Because there's a lot of stuff I've done that's cool, and if people see that there, they might be more inclined to come over. I think I posted everything from the first and second auction, and then after that, I still got to write down everything in my book of what I poured from the last auction and this auction. That's a whole process. But yeah, from the time the auction's over, like Saturday and Sunday, I'm trying to take videos and pictures and get everything right, make sure the payment's taken care of, make sure I got addresses, and I write everything out. There is a way to make shipping cheaper. 3D was telling me he got I forgot who it is, what company it is, but you get a little printer, and I think he even said you could hook it up to your phone. And so you can put your address in there and just save it, and then just type everybody's address in and print it out. That'll be a lot faster too. I don't have to sit at the post office. I had a girl behind me. I was like, I'm sorry. I had like 8 packages. She was waiting for like 15 minutes. She's like, it's all good. I got 5 here too. But I hate sitting there waiting for them to do it when I got people behind me. Last auction, I had like 4 people behind me. I felt like a butthole. Pirate ship, that's one of them. I don't know if that's what he said though, because I have heard that one before. I just came across the video of somebody talking about that, but it might have been a different company. Man, I have so much anxiety right now about getting this piece done. Man. I'm gonna do it though. I mean, I guess I could always just reimburse her, but I don't want to do that. If I got to pay for shipping, maybe I'll just ship it out. If I can't get it done by tomorrow, by 4:30, if I can't make it there, shipping it out, then maybe I'll just ship everything else and tell her I'll send it when I get it right. Like I was saying earlier, I don't usually do that because I've had people try to buy things straight up and I'm like, no, everything goes in the auction. I always tell everybody no because it's just how I do it. And if you let one person do it, then everybody's doing it or wants it done. But she has been in every single auction and picked up multiple pieces. I don't know if anybody saw that video, and you can go to my playlists and see it. She made a video. And by the way, if anybody gets a pour of mine and you make a video of it, send me an email and let me know. That way I can put it in that playlist. It's called My Pours in the Community. But she did a video showing all the pours she got from me. I mean, it's a lot. I think she has like 20 pours of mine. So she's been such a huge supporter. I felt like I had to do it. She had asked me before, and I was like, well, everything goes in the auction. I wanted to do it, but I was like, man. So I felt bad for having to say that. So she's done so much for me. I just did it anyway. But that's it. No mas. Although it would be cool to post stuff on Instagram and just put a price on it and just see what happens. I kind of want to start a website too. That'd probably be the best way to do it. And they have links to my website on all platforms. Show the piece. If you like it, go, you know what I mean? Instead of doing auctions. I got to figure out a better way to do it anyway. Because the way I did it last year, I'm going to be losing money. And that sucks. That's never a good business model. I thought if you did friends and family, like there wasn't like a whole tax thing. And apparently that's not true. So, oops. I was referring to SevinStacks. SevinStacks and Titan Uranus. Those are my biggest supporters. Titan hasn't been there from the beginning. I think he might have missed like 2 or 3 auctions, maybe 4 auctions before he came around. But since he's been around, like he will spend like $500-600. So I really appreciate him. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be still doing this. For Titan and Sevin, there's no way I'd be doing this still. So I do appreciate them. It's tough. It's tough out here. It ain't easy. But yeah, check out her video if you haven't seen it. It's pretty awesome how many pours she has in mine. And she has a lot of them that are like 2-3 ounces silver. She's got quite a few pieces that were over $100. I'd like to get into, I mean, if I can ever afford it, I would love to get into doing big pieces. Like I would love to do a kilo piece or a 10-ounce piece. That would be cool. I've always wanted to make a 10-ounce bar that is like a mirror. like shined up real good like a mirror. Like, who is that does that on Instagram? Something Boyan. BB. Bunker Boyan? Yeah, Bunker Boyan, I think. Always has those mirror-looking bars. And then there's that other dude. If SGT was here, he could tell you, because he's got some of his pieces. He'll do like axes and swords that are like freaking kilos. I don't know when I'll be at that level, but it might be a while. But yeah, Bellows, you can go. I have a playlist. And I think she still gets a credit for the watch if it's from my playlist, right? Because it's just coming. I don't know how that works. Maybe you should go to her channel. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works, to be honest. But you can at least see it there. Uh-oh, it's 4:20. For any of you that do that sort of thing. I haven't done that sort of thing in years. So yeah, it's been 4.5 months since I've even had a drink. I feel good about that. When I first came back about a year ago, I was sober. And then I started having a couple here and there, a couple beers here and there. And then sometimes when I would have an auction, I would get a 6-pack and drink that throughout the night. And then I started to feel like every time I went live, I had to have a couple beers. And that's not where I want to be. So 4.5 months ago, I kicked it again. It's not like I'm a raging alcoholic or anything. I don't like getting drunk. I just like get a buzz going. But when you start to feel like you need a buzz to do like normal activities, that's a problem. So I've drank alcohol, smoked weed, and done other things since I was 15 years old, and I'm 45 now. So it's about damn time I straightened up my life. I mean, I always went to work, you know, it's not like I was ever like a bad human being for doing anything like that, but kind of started to hate on myself a little bit for being that type of person that I swore I'd never be. You know, a lot of us deal with trauma, man, and I'm no different. Dealing with trauma and just life, things that happen to you in life kind of make you a certain way, and then you just want to have an escape. And that's fine if it's like a once a week thing, but when it's an everyday thing, it's a problem for me. I'm not trying to preach, I'm just, you know, I like talking about this stuff because it kind of helps me stay on the right path. The only thing I got to do now is quit smoking cigarettes. Thank you, Rocco. Appreciate it, Bellows. Just kick it in the balls and move on. That's what I'm talking about. Tell you by far though, man, if anybody's out there addicted to Percocet, any kind of pills like that, any kind of opioid, it's really hard. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do to get off of that stuff. But I did it, and I didn't go to rehab to do it. I just decided it was time to make a change. Like I was dependent. It all started with that snowboarding accident. I cracked my collarbone, my tailbone, and my rib all in the same day. I didn't sleep for a month because I just could not, everything hurt so bad. I could not get comfortable because it was my left collarbone and my right rib and then my tailbone on top of that. So that was really hard to get over. And then because you're taking the pills for the pain, every time it'd be time to get off of the pills, I would go through such terrible withdrawals. I couldn't get over it. And I still had to go to work, so it's a tough place to be. If you ever do break something and they give you stuff like that, just do it as prescribed and don't do it any longer than you have to. It is not fun trying to get back to normal. Like my brain, it really messed my brain up. Like my brain still doesn't make dopamine like it used to before that stuff. It's definitely like a chemical imbalance. Yeah, it's true, Gadita. There's always somebody out there. Yeah, dude, I had to sit on a donut. I got like this donut pillow. It would be at work because I was in sales. I ran a counter, so like people would come in and buy stuff from me. So I was always like up and down, but I had the computer at my desk, so I'd have to sit at my desk and do stuff. And if nobody was there, obviously I'd be sitting down, getting other work done, paperwork, waiting for people to come in and pricing or whatever it was. But even sitting on a donut, it hurt for like a month. But imagine your tailbone, your collarbone, and your rib all at the same time. Just unbelievable pain. I will say the rib hurt the worst, but it healed the quickest. And maybe it's because I had so much pain in the other places that I didn't feel it as much. I don't know. I'm sure it sucks if you break a rib. It probably hurts for a while, but yeah, I was snowboarding, went up to the top of the mountain. I'm coming down, and I'm getting it pretty good. And this is only my third time snowboarding. So like the first time I went up and fell all the way down the whole mountain. We went all the way to the top, and everybody I was with, they went off, and they told me how to do it, but I kept falling like every 10 feet. Finally, a dude went to the bottom, got back up, and came back around again, and then he stopped with me and was like, here, do this, do that. So I kind of figured it out. By the end of the day, I was good. I didn't fall at all. But that third time I went, man, this woman, I think she had a camera in her hand. She was trying to like take a picture of her daughter that was coming by, that I'd already passed. And so she had stopped and had a camera. And I'm like, what are you doing, woman? So I go one way, she goes the same way. I turn and try to go the other way. She does the same thing. And at that point, it was like, I'm going to run into this woman. So trying to jump out of the way, I clipped the board and just went flying and landed on my collarbone. Face, collarbone, legs in the air. And then tried to tough it out. So I kept falling all the way, the whole rest of the day. I lasted till nighttime. But because I didn't want to fall forward because my collarbone hurt so bad, I couldn't even lift my arm. But I kept snowboarding. And so every time I felt like I was getting a little wobbly, I would always fall on my tailbone and ended up cracking that too. Stupid. I should have just left. It was the first run though, and I had people with me, and I didn't want to be that guy that got hurt and everybody had to leave. So I tried to tough it out. That was pretty dumb. I'm sorry to hear that, Gadita. That's definitely trauma. Like, I know exactly what you mean. It's really hard to get over things like that. There's a lot of people out here that are living with things that have happened to them that they can't even talk about. I mean, I've been through things in my life that I can't talk about. But we just got to find a way to get over it and do certain things. Like, that's why drinking and pills and any kind of drugs, I mean, all that stuff. I've been through all the addictions. sex, masturbation. I mean, you name it. All the things you shouldn't be doing. I've been through all that, and none of it helped. Might help for a minute. I mean, eating is another one. A lot of people don't realize that eating can be an addiction. But you're always going to have that hole until you do the work at trying to fix it. And it's hard, man. Some of us will never be fixed, I guess. So you just do the best you can. But I feel for you. I started doing a thing, like I always have anxiety too, just being around people and getting so abused as a kid and like bullied and, just being told I was nothing, going through life as a child like that. It kind of makes you a certain type of person in life later on. And so always shy, never really speaking my mind, kind of, having anxiety about even being around people, social anxiety. There's like, 10 people in a room. I'm going to be the one not talking. But since I've gotten sober and started doing work at just trying to be the best version of myself, like I pray every day for it. Every time I take a shower, I clean with hot water and then I blast it on cold and I sit in that water until I'm not cold anymore, until it's not taking my breath away. And I call that my daily dose of suffering. And so I put myself purposely through that every day, kind of like a it's cold shower, but what's the other one where you do like the cold plunge? Kind of like that, but just not as good. Cold plunge is way colder. But, it helps with your muscles, it helps with pain, it helps with anxiety. It's definitely been a bit of a game changer. I started doing that almost 2 years ago, and I do it every single time I take a shower. I have not missed one time. And it's just having that one thing that's really hard to do that I do every day definitely helps with anxiety and other stuff. I'm sitting here rambling like crazy. Yeah, Gadita, I know that this sounds like something you'll never be able to do, but you gotta forgive. Most hurt people hurt people. And as long as you hold that in your heart, it's always going to be something you're not going to get over. I know that that's hard to hear. I try to look at it as everything happens for a reason. Like I've been through all the crap, and I thank God every day for all my experiences, good and bad. I make sure I say that in my prayer every day. Thank you for this life, for this experience, for all experiences, good and bad. It's made me who I am today. And then once you get to a place where like for me, once I got to a place where I actually felt like I loved myself again, because I had no love for myself for many, many years, most of my life. Once I got to that place, it kind of makes everything a little bit easier. But it's hard, man. It's hard to forgive people for doing crappy stuff like that. There's a lot of evil in this world. And unfortunately, a lot of people have endured it. JK, what's going on? Normal chat format. Good habits and good friends are key. Yes. That's why I talk about things, man. I didn't want to do it for a long time. That's why I didn't make a video for 2 years, because I didn't feel like I wanted to come back unless I'd kind of told a story about why I'd been gone for a while and how I was trying to better myself, because I was in a really dark place. Grief will do terrible things to you. And then dealing with like traumas and other things on top of that, I was just in a funk I couldn't seem to get out of. Luckily, I still had my family, but I had lost my career of 21 years. When COVID hit, we were in the middle of a pandemic. I just lost my best friend to a fentanyl overdose. My grandmother passed away. And then I lost my stepdad, my grandfather, and my other best friend within like a year and a half. And I was like, man, every time I felt like I was kind of getting over it, somebody else would pass away. And I just didn't have the tools to deal with it. I also didn't really believe in God either back then. I mean, I guess I've always believed in God. I don't want to say that, but like I didn't pray. I didn't do anything really. Just kind of living life, mad at the world. And it got me nowhere. So I had to make changes to try to be better. And I still work on it every day. And I fall a lot of days, man. There's days where I don't want to get out of bed. Depression sucks. Grief sucks. So many days, man, I wouldn't get out of bed unless I knew I was about to take a shot of whiskey and drink a beer. That's a terrible place to be. On top of a pill or two, you know? Not a good place to be in life. Yeah, back in the 80s, man. It was a different world. A better time, but we definitely didn't know how to talk about stuff. It definitely helps you to speak on things and to let things out. Now, I never went to rehab. I never went to see a therapist or psychiatrist or whatever it is. I never did anything like that. I just learned a lot about that sort of thing and how the brain works and how our emotions work and how God works. I mean, all of it. We are here to live this life for a reason. And I feel like we might even make a contract with God before we come down here to live a certain life, to go through certain things. Who knows? Maybe none of you are real. Maybe this is only my life. I'm the only one living here on Earth. Maybe the Earth is flat. Who knows? I just lost some people. I'm just being funny going down the rabbit holes. All we can do is wake up every day and try to be the best versions of ourselves. That's all we can do. And when you fall, you got to tell yourself it's okay. It's okay to fall. It's how we get back up. How we keep just pushing through. That's when it matters the most, those days when you don't want to get out of bed, those days when everything is going wrong and you still push through. Because the more of those you get under your belt, the easier life is. And dealing with grief, you know, that's kind of just about time and letting it heal. When somebody you love is taken away from you, especially when it's like all of a sudden, it's hard. When you already hate yourself anyway, because you've been through life and you turned yourself into a person that you swore you'd never be. Just speaking on, you know, my life. But yeah, man, I was projecting a lot on people. Like I would always be mad at people when really I was mad at myself. And I would project that hate on others. Now I'll try to live in love. Love and light. After all, we are eternal light beings. Meetings help? Yeah, I haven't went to a meeting. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I downloaded the app where it tells you where meetings are around your house. And I'm thinking about doing that. I know it definitely helps. For me, it's another reason why rehab really wasn't an option either, because I just wanted to know, I needed to get better on my own and know that I could fix myself. I felt like if I went to rehab and got sober because I went to rehab, I'm going to feel like I need that in the future if I was to fall. It's probably a dumb way of looking at things, but I just wanted to be better on my terms and know that I did the work and I made it through. I shouldn't be alive right now. All the things I've done in my life, I should not be alive. And to have two of my best friends pass away, I think the fact that I am still alive and they're gone. I lived with survivor's remorse for a little while there. That was definitely that's a real thing. Yep, just treat people right. That's it. Even when they don't deserve it. That's what I found. It makes me a little bit happier when people are just a certain type of way. Kill them with kindness, kind of thing, you know, like just walk away from them. I used to feed into all that. I had to stand up and for what was right. And granted, I still do that. But there was a lot of dumb instances where I should have just let it go. I'm lucky that I'm not in jail. I'm lucky that I'm alive. So all I can do every day is just thank God for both of those and try to be the best version. You know, what I've been doing lately is trying to live for my my friends and relatives that passed away in a way where I feel like I'm making them proud. Because I was the farthest thing from that 2 years ago. Try to live life like somebody that people can look up to. Because I was not that for so long. And I still struggle, you know? I still struggle. But just trying. Trying every day. Two brain surgeries, dang. Autoimmune disorders. And your wife left. Dang, man. Yeah, that's my saving grace. There, you know, if I didn't have my family, I would have been dead 2 years ago. And that's a fact. That's the reason why I got sober. Because I really started to think hard about the world would be better without me. And that's a terrible way to feel. Like, I'm getting kind of emotional even just saying that out loud right now. Yeah, I was in a really dark place. But I'm not there anymore, so amen to that. Thank you, God. Yahweh, as I like to call him. But yeah, Bello, sorry to hear that. But it's definitely made you stronger, right? Everything that God puts us through is for a reason. So that we can be stronger. Your fears will lock you away in a mental place. Yeah, that would suck for sure. Dang, yeah. I'm glad you didn't. And if you ever want to talk, man, I'm here. My email is in every video I've ever posted. I've found some amazing friends through this community, people that I talk to about life when it's hard. And if you ever feel like you need somebody to talk to, please reach out. It will help me just as much as it'll help you. Yeah, it's a terrible place to be when you feel like you don't even want to be alive. And I know exactly where you're coming from. But yeah. Yeah, Gadita, please. I want you guys to know that I'm here. Not just as a dude on YouTube, but, I really do appreciate a lot of people in this community. And I've had great conversations. And I'll be honest, if I hadn't come back a year ago, I don't know if I'd be in the place I'm at right now without you guys. And then talking about it kind of holds me accountable. Which is kind of why I felt so bad when I did start having those beers a little while ago, a couple months back. And that's why I decided I was done again and stuck with it. But yeah, in 2022, right after Christmas, in between Christmas and New Year's, I started thinking really heavy about how the world would be better off without me. Now, I wouldn't want to do anything to end my life because I know that would hurt other people. I have a family. I wouldn't want to leave them behind. But just having that thought and really believing it is a scary place to be. So I decided I was going to get sober. I quit drinking. I quit smoking cigarettes. I was trying really hard to not do anything else. And for about 6 months. And that's when I was about to come back. And then I started drinking again. Ended up being 2 years later by the time I came back. It took me that long to get back to the place I was at in 2022. And now here we are. So that's my story. And like I said, anybody that wants to reach out, please feel free. Even if you just want to send an email just because you want to get some stuff off your chest by talking about it, it really does help. I was thinking the other day, man, I played the lottery and I was like, man, if I win the lottery, I would love to open a rehab facility where people can go for free. And then had different sections where one section is rehab, one section is for people that are dealing with grief. Having even like a wing for homeless, I think I need that in my life. I think I need to do something to try to help others for all the crap I've done and the ways that I've been and the thought processes I've had. I need to make up for that somehow. I just really don't know how to do it at the moment, but I would love to be a philanthropist. Man, I am having a hard time. Philanthropist. Jeez. That would be fun. Gadita, I'll tell you something, and this is a little bit embarrassing. This is what I do when nobody's home. That's when I have talks with myself. And I will literally pace from my bedroom, through my living room, down the hallway to the kitchen, back and forth, talking to myself out loud of what I want to do, what I want to change, how I want to be. And I guess you could call that talking to God. But that's what I do all the time. And I've done it my whole life. They say you're crazy if you talk to yourself, but I think everybody talks to themselves. Especially, like I'm ADD and dyslexic and just, it helps me to say something out loud. And that also is you putting it into the keep thinking atmosphere. That's not it. The universe. Like you're putting that stuff out loud into the universe. And there's a lot of science behind that. Writing things down. That's helped me too. I haven't really tried this, but there's a thing that I was learning about where it's like, write down all the things that you don't like about yourself, or things that you've been through, whatever, that you don't want to remember anymore, things that have just brought you nothing but harm your life. You write all that stuff down and then you burn it. I've never tried anything like that. I guess it's like a way of letting go. I don't know if that works, but I came across something like that the other day. Oh, you gotta talk to the cats and dogs. You gotta talk to them. I've definitely done that. I've been kind of walking, like trying to talk myself into or out of something, pacing around, and a dog comes up. You know what I'm talking about, buddy? You get it, right? I can do this. Well, I'm just totally putting myself out there today, ain't I? I do need to get off here, though. My daughter is home from school now. I need to go say hello to her. Make sure everything's all good. So, yeah, I guess we're going to have to attempt to do this again at some point here soon, because that sure didn't work. Look at all that sand that I lost, too. Man. But, yeah, if you weren't here earlier, I did that yesterday and tried to do that today because this one didn't turn out on the tail here, and it still didn't turn out. That's what it's supposed to look like. So we're gonna have to do this again. I did come up with a couple of cool little bars. I haven't done these before, so I did one the other day when I did the first one. Try one of these again. I'm gonna clean it up, make it look nice, and stamp capital currency. And then this cool looking thing, which looks weird, but I think I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna clean it up and see if I can stamp something on it, make it look cool. I don't know. I had to figure it out. I got some star stamps. Maybe doing some stars around it or something. I don't know. I've got 3 different things. I get 12 stamps in one thing, and I got 3 of them. And there's like all kinds of weird looking stamps, like things I would never use. Like I remember I did one for Silver Plains. That's the Kansas kid. That's his kid. Years, like when I first started stacking and pouring, I poured a copper bar and stamped Silver Plains on it. And then stamped an actual plane. But I think that's the only stamp I've ever used from all 12 of those. Just a lot of weird stuff that you wouldn't really think about stamping on something. Not for what I'm doing anyway, but. Yeah, I'm definitely an open book. I try to be. There's no way I could lie because I wouldn't remember my own lie. I get the worst memory ever. So I always kind of pride myself on being honest in every way possible. Because I know that I'm not going to say something contradicting whatever I said the week before. I mean, I try not to. Sometimes mood changes and you might feel a different way about something. I might like something one week I don't like the next week. But other than that, try to be honest, try to be an open book. As a matter of fact, I've had her tell me a couple times, you share too much. Why do you talk about that? Don't say that. I'm not supposed to say anything about them. But I do every now and again. I do consider a lot of you as friends, so. Rhonda, big hugs and love to you as well. I try to talk to my fat cat, trying to convince her she's not really hungry. That's funny. I got a boy that's fat, and all he wants to do is eat. Looks like Garfield. He gets wet food in the morning, like a half a can, and I always eat that. But then I'll fill the bowl up, and then like right now, he's probably pacing around, waiting for me to come back in so he can rub up against my leg so I'll feed him some more food. I mean, the other cats eat it too, but he's a big boy. The other ones are just normal. He's a little thick. Yeah, and my dog, man. We got that, I got a chocolate lab mixed with a Springer Spaniel. That dog is awesome. And when you come home, all he wants to do is just wagging his tail, smacking his tail on everything too. It's kind of funny. I don't know how he doesn't hurt his tail, but he'll just be so excited that you're home and just want to be around you. He always wants to be next to me. I have a incliner, or a recliner, incliner. I have a recliner that I sit in, and he'll come over and he'll put his front paws and he'll lay down on the arm with his feet still on the ground, just so he could like be next to me. It's so funny. And then I find him doing it when nobody's in the chair. He will still have his feet on the ground. Just like he likes that position, I guess. Sometimes he'll be in the chair, but it's funny when he does that. He's like, come on, Dad, just come sit down. I'm already ready for you. But yeah, pets are great companions. I don't like pets because I don't like it when they die. I don't like it when they get sick. And it's like a money pit. And I don't like the hair everywhere. But other than that, I do love the animals. We got 3 cats, and I love all of them. The dog, for sure. I think he did a lot to kind of help me get to where I'm at now, too. Just having that companion there all the time that just doesn't care. He doesn't care about what I've done in my past. He just wants to love me. So yeah, it is good to have animals. I mean, even the cats are cool. They come up to me a lot. I have a cat that she just sits in my lap. She'll come over and just sit in my lap, and she'll put her face right in my face, like with her feet on my chest and her back paws like in my lap, and she'll just sit there right up in my face until I pet her. And then she'll just lay down in my lap and fall asleep. The other cats are not like that. The boy, he will not even, I could lift him up in my lap, and he's only sat there one time. He's like, I'm out of here. Just give me food. That's all I care about. Awesome, Bellows. I'm glad you feel that way. I hear that, Rhonda. Must love animals. So many great and caring people who, yep, I agree. Man, the sun went down and it's starting to get chilly out here. But anyways, anybody down for a coin roll hunt? Not right now, obviously, but maybe tomorrow or over the weekend, maybe, or some other time on a Tuesday, maybe. And if you do like coin roll hunts and you want to hang out, what would you rather me do, quarters or pennies? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, cats are very intuitive. So are dogs. I've shed a tear in front of the animals before. You can tell that they know what's going on. They feel your energy, especially cats. Yeah, there was a lot of times. My mom has a cat too that like she, when my grandmother passed away, we were both hurting. And this cat has just always been, she sleeps with her. She'll come home and just lay up next to her. She won't do that with anybody. But yeah, that cat has definitely helped her. That's for sure. And they were cats that my uncle had at his warehouse. They got a bunch of stray cats around there, and he would take the cats and get them fixed so that they wouldn't keep having babies, strays out everywhere. Every time he finds one, he takes it and gets it fixed. But now he's got like 15 cats in his warehouse, and I ended up with 3 of them. And that's it, no more. I already can't deal with the hair. And then the dog shedding everywhere. It's a constant. I have to sweep the floor every day. Gets all up in the bathroom. He doesn't even go in the bathroom, yet there's dog hair in the bathroom all the time. I don't get it. Yeah, good either. There's definitely some people out here on YouTube that are not authentic. I'm really good at that too. Like, I read people really well. Even through the internet, I can read people pretty well, and I'm usually not wrong. There's people that definitely talk a big game, but when it really comes down to it, they're not those kind of people. Quarters? Yeah, I tend to like quarters better too. But there is some cool stuff you can find with pennies. There's a lot of errors. Ooh, man, it's cold out here. It did not take long once the sun went down. It did not take long to get cold. The sun's not even down, but it's behind the clouds now. It'll be down another hour. I'm in Maryland on the East Coast, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know. Yeah, that's one thing I try not to do. Bella was talking about people being disrespectful. I mean, there's definitely some people out there like that. And even if you come in disrespecting me, I still try to take the high road. I don't kick anybody. I've had some people come in and say some really off the wall weird stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah? That's weird. I used to always fight fire with fire, and that got me nowhere. So now I just try to, if somebody's going to be stupid and say something disrespectful, that just shows their character. And I'm not going to show the same character back like I used to. For years, I always told myself and told everybody around me, I treat people the way they treat me. But once I kind of got out of that, life is better, I will say. Obviously, I'm not going to be a pushover or anything like that, but time and place, you know what I mean? You like nickels? I haven't done nickels in a while. There's nothing to find with nickels. That's the problem. I mean, you might find a war nickel here and there, but even those are really hard to find. And there is errors and things like that, but I've never found any. Of course, I haven't really searched nickels like I have pennies and quarters. Pennies and quarters are my favorite. I wish I could get half dollars. That'd be fun. But I got Bank of America, and they won't even give me a box of quarters or pennies for that matter. I usually just get $100 at a time. Sometimes I'll get like $200 quarters. I need to do some more bill search videos. I actually have a video on my phone of a $10 bill search. And I was just looking the other day. I did a $10 bill search like 3 years ago. I have like 18,000 views on that, and I still get views. Like every week I'll still have like 20 views on that. And it's like crazy to me. So I'm like, man, I need to make some more videos like that. I used to do a video called What's in My Change, and I would show you whatever it is that I found in change that I would get, from stores. And I have one of those on my phone too, but I got to get to editing. I got a lot of stuff to edit. I'm going to try to work on some of that this weekend. At least post a few videos. And I got a bunch of shorts I'll be posting too, of the pours and then coins that I'm just showing with some kind of music in the background. Oh, I know, Rhonda. I don't care if you boot them. I'm just saying, I just don't do it. People are going to be people. Even if they're leaving a bad comment, at least they're leaving a comment. You know what I mean? It does help the algorithm either way. I try to look at it like that. You collect a little. Dang, that's pretty cool. 180-degree die rotation. I found a few that are like a little bit off, and I think they allow it to be a little bit off before it's like any kind of like error designation. I need to figure out what's up with that Morgan I have that has a die crack all the way around it, almost all the way around it. It's not in the date part, but on the left, right, and top. And it even goes through her hat. I need to figure out what that is. Some kind of VAM. There's so many VAMs, it's kind of hard to figure out what's what. I tried to look on a website one time, but I didn't find anything. Yeah, you never know what people are going through. That's right. I mean, if you've been through any kind of life, you've been through some stuff. And there's them days where if anybody says anything to me, I'm going to go off. I've had many of those days. But like I said earlier, it does help to just kind of let things go. You can't change people. And when you try to fight fire with fire, that's not going to change them in any way. If somebody's coming being disrespectful to you and you're disrespectful back, they're still going to think that they're better. If you can show them that you're better and you're not going to let them steal your power, it kind of makes them think a little bit like, man, I was just kind of really rude and that person was not back. Maybe I'm the problem. I think that's the only way we really make change, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I hear you, Rhonda. That's why I say, do whatever you want to do. Definitely don't want to run people off. But when somebody's being dumb, it just, usually for me, the only thing that's ever really happened is somebody will just come in and say something stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like trying to get a rise out of you or something. And I'm just like, oh yeah? That's weird. Just, ignore it. But, obviously, if somebody's being disrespectful, I'm not going to stand for that. You will definitely get kicked if you're straight up disrespectful. But I got to be honest, man, I don't think that's ever happened. Not in a live stream or in my comments. I guess I'm lucky in that aspect. Has to be more than 10 degree. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, man, I like the W's. Man, I was on TikTok earlier, right? This dude had a W, and he has like written on the screen number 1,120, or no, 1,144. And I left a comment like, hold up, you found You found 1,144 of these things? That's what it was, 1144. And I was like, that's crazy. And he said, yeah, he gets 3 to 5 boxes a week, and he's been doing it since 2019. That's crazy. I was like, well, I found about 5. I don't search boxes, much less boxes per week. So you definitely got to go through a lot, but I wouldn't mind getting a box. I wouldn't mind getting a box of $50. My bank won't even give me $50. They might have like 5 or 6 laying around. I've done that before. But that's about it. That's rude, Gadita. I would never do something like that. That takes a special type of person. I mean, if that's how you're going to be, then what you should do is only do giveaways for people that buy. I mean, just them being there is doing something for you, whether they buy or not. Yeah, I don't think anybody that has a wrench here would ever say anything stupid, though. But you never know. Like I said, people have bad days. I wouldn't let something continue to happen, though. That's for sure. And I kick them out for the day or something. They come back next time. Give them another chance, but if they act stupid, then you got to be done. Banned from the channel. I don't think I've ever done that. I've never straight banned somebody from the channel. NF. I don't even know who that is. Brain fart. You do a mail call and read. Yeah, that's what you should do. Make a video and read it. Read the comment or the note. I sent you a note. It wasn't anything like that. Actually, Gadita, I might have sent you 2 notes. Oh no, that was somebody else because I'd put it in a box and I already had the box packed and I couldn't remember if I wrote the note already. So I wrote another one and saying, there might be another note in the bottom of this, but just wanted to say thank you and whatnot. But you should have a note in yours too, unless it didn't make it in there somehow. What I did with yours, Gadita, is I took the bag and had it folded up and I put it into one of my Capital Currency bubble mailers. And in between the little sleeves here and there, because it was folded a few times, that's where I put all the other stuff. Dang, people are rude. All you got to worry about when people do stuff like that, all you got to think about is, they've been through something to make them that way. And it's not your fault. And don't let them take your power. You hold the power in everything in your life. We all have the opportunity to react to whatever happens to us in any way. And we can react in a way where we're down and mad and upset about it. Or we can just not be and think, it sucks that person had to go through whatever they went through to be this type of person, but I don't want to give them my energy to get me feeling the same way they are. I know I'm not saying that right. I don't have the right words to make that make sense, but that's just how I look at things. Try to anyway. I'm not going to say things don't piss me off every now and again, because that would be a lie. I'm just telling you like how I try to be now. Because it's really easy to get caught up in other people's energies and make wrong decisions for yourself because of other people. And I just refuse to do that anymore. Serenity prayer. Yeah, treat others the way you want to be treated. I just try to not have the mentality of treat people the way they treat me. See, there's one way to do it, and the way you just said it is the way to do it. Treat people the way you want to be treated. But if people treat you bad, you don't have to give them that same energy back. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't make you feel better. As a matter of fact, it makes you feel worse. For me anyway, everybody's different. But anyway, it was great talking to you guys. I've been going live for 165 minutes. But I need to go in and say hello to my daughter, get all this stuff cleaned up, and I guess I'm gonna attempt to do this again tomorrow. If it's not raining. I'm gonna pull it off eventually. But yeah, I don't know. To see what happens. Trying to remember even how far ago that was. I don't see it now. I don't see the initials anymore. Oh, NF. NF. I don't know. If they come in here, we need some kind of code. That way we know. Do like a little fist to somebody's head or something, like some emojis. I guess we still would know because there's probably going to be other people in here. That doesn't work. I have to remember the NF. Anyway, just forget about it. You're better than them. That's all you got to remember, is that you're better than them. And hurt people hurt people. And you're also a hurt person, but guess what? You did better and you overcame that. Man, I'm so bad at trying to figure out stuff like that. Like I'll be going through some videos or something. It might be somebody I'm subscribed to, I don't know. But I'll probably realize it in a couple days from now. That's usually what happens for me. The more I think about it, the less I'm gonna know what the hell we're talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here and go say hello to my daughter. Try to figure out what we're gonna do for dinner. I might make some burgers again. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and it's always fun to kind of have talks and talk about, life and try to figure out how we can be better. And if not, it's okay to fall. But we must pick ourselves up and continue on and keep trying and keep trying. Even if we screw up every day for 10 years, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. We can always make change and we can always be better. And I guess I'll just leave you with that. I do appreciate you guys. Thank you to everybody that came Friday. Everything is shipped out except for hers. I got to get this other thing done, but I do appreciate everybody hanging out. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here. And like I always say, appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.